Brandi Glanville challenges Dorit Kemsley's finances amid foreclosure. RHOBH alum Brandi Glanville is challenging current show star Dorit Kemsley's finances amid her home foreclosure. Dorit and her estranged husband, P.K. Kemsley, have allegedly not paid for their home in months. Therefore, they are in jeopardy of losing it, but something about Dorit is off to Brandi. But what is it? Keep reading for more details. Brandi Glanville challenges Dorit Kemsley's finances. Right now, Brandi Glanville is struggling financially. She has spent over $70,000 trying to figure out what is wrong with her face and causing it to be so deformed and painful. The former RHOBH star has had all of her fillers dissolved and has been left in a tragic state. Now, she initially maintained that her facial issues stemmed from stress due to Bravo. She was on a RHUGT in Morocco, where she was accused of sexual harassment by her co-star, Caroline Manzo. That effectively ruined her career, or so she claims. Brandi even attempted to sue Bravo and Andy Cohen. She eventually was dropped by her lawyers as they said her case was not strong enough. Brandi then came out, maintaining her facial issues were due to a parasite from Morocco, even losing teeth from it. So it would appear that Brandi has enough on her plate. However, she is now taking jabs at current RHOBH cast member, Dorit Kemsley. Dorit has split from her husband, PK, which is the storyline for season 14, and is trying to keep her sanity. She is also fiercely protective of her two children, Phoenix and Jagger, who the couple has yet to tell they are separating. At least, this is what fans are seeing play out in current episodes of the hit Bravo show. Unfortunately, behind the scenes, they are having immense money troubles, but Dorit still has her Bentley, which Brandi Glanville has observed. According to The Sun, Brandi has questions about the car given the Kemsleys' financial state. Brandi, who is worried she won't have anything, claims she drives a Ford, yet did not say what kind or year. Origin of the Bentley. RHOBH faithful fans know the origin behind Dorit Kemsley's Bentley. She got that for her 40th birthday from her husband, PK. Dorit felt it was over the top to receive a rose gold Bentley, but she was thrilled nonetheless. So this could very well be the same car all of these years later. Brandi Glanville was not done with her questions, though. She wondered how Erica Jane could afford a Porsche post-divorce. Erica is still embroiled in many legal issues, and she got a Range Rover when she left Tom Girardi. She has since worked hard with her own Vegas residency and will return to Chicago on Broadway. So she did not leave Tom in a Porsche. Brandi Glanville leaned back in her chair at the upscale Beverly Hills Cafe, sipping a frothy cappuccino and glancing over her oversized sunglasses. Across from her sat a mutual acquaintance, a Hollywood insider known for their discretion, or lack thereof, regarding the private lives of the elite. Today, Brandi wasn't in the mood for pleasantries. She had an agenda, and it was all about Dorit Kemsley. So Brandi began, swirling the foam in her cup with a silver spoon. What's the tea on Dorit's latest? Foreclosure, I hear. The insider leaned in conspiratorially, lowering their voice despite the fact that the cafe was sparsely populated. Word is, PK's finances are in shambles again. The house in Encino is on the chopping block, and they're scrambling to keep up appearances. Brandi's perfectly manicured eyebrow arched. Of course they are, she said, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Dorit's been parading around in head-to-toe designer while their creditors are probably camping out on their lawn. The conversation ignited a spark in Brandi, one she hadn't felt in a while. She knew better than anyone how to leverage moments like these. Her return to the spotlight as a recurring guest on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had reignited old rivalries, and the thought of challenging Dorit on such a public stage was too enticing to resist. A few days later, during filming for a charity event hosted by Kyle Richards, Brandi made her move. The event was held at Kyle's sprawling estate, complete with crystal chandeliers and a guest list that read like a who's who of Beverly Hills society. Dorit arrived fashionably late, wearing a sequin jumpsuit that shimmered like liquid gold under the ambient lighting. Brandi spotted her immediately. "Dorit, darling," she called out, her voice loud enough to turn a few heads. Dorit's smile faltered for a split second before she regained her composure and approached, her signature British-American accent on full display. "Brandi," Dorit said, air-kissing her on both cheeks. "How lovely to see you." "You look fabulous," Brandi said, her tone sweet yet tinged with an unmistakable edge. "That jumpsuit must have cost a fortune." Dorit's laugh was light, but her eyes narrowed slightly. "Thank you, darling. It's Fendi." "Ah, Fendi," Brandi mused, taking a sip of her champagne. "You've always had a knack for pulling off high fashion. But tell me, how do you manage it all? The glam, the trips, the mortgage payments." The room seemed to hush, though it was more a collective awareness than a literal silence. Dorit's smile froze, and she tilted her head, feigning confusion. "I beg your pardon." "Oh, Brandi continued, her voice casual but her eyes sharp. "I just admire how you juggle everything so effortlessly, especially with those pesky rumors about, what was it again? Foreclosure?" Dorit's cheeks flushed, though whether from anger or embarrassment was hard to tell. "Brandi, darling, you know better than to believe everything you hear. PK and I are perfectly fine." Brandi's smile widened, the kind of grin that signaled she wasn't letting this go anytime soon. Of course, but you know how people talk. It's just curious, isn't it? All these whispers about financial trouble when you're draped in couture. Makes people wonder." Kyle, sensing the brewing storm, swooped in like the seasoned hostess she was. "Ladies," she said brightly, placing a hand on each of their arms. "Let's not turn tonight into a tabloid headline, shall we?" But the damage was done. The exchange became the talk of the evening, with guests whispering about Brandi's audacity and Dorit's increasingly defensive demeanor. By the time filming wrapped, the story had already begun circulating among the Bravo fan base, fueled by leaked clips and speculative social media posts. Dorit, determined to regain control of the narrative, scheduled a sit-down with Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane to strategize. The three met at a chic West Hollywood bistro, where Dorit vented her frustrations. "She's trying to paint me as some sort of fraud," Dorit said, her voice tinged with indignation. "PK and I have worked hard to build our life. We've had setbacks, yes, but who hasn't?" Erica nodded sympathetically. "Honey, if anyone knows about public scrutiny, it's me. The best thing you can do is own your truth and let the rest roll off your back." Lisa, ever the pragmatist, leaned forward. "You need to address this head-on. Maybe a sit-down with Brandi. Clear the air on camera." Dorit hesitated. The thought of confronting Brandi was daunting, but the alternative, letting the rumors fester, was worse. "Fine," she said finally, "but I'm not letting her bully me." The showdown took place at yet another lavish venue, this time a rooftop bar with panoramic views of Los Angeles. The tension was palpable as Dorit and Brandi faced off, cameras capturing every micro-expression. "Brandi," Dorit began, her tone measured. "I want to understand why you felt the need to bring up such a personal matter in such a public way." Brandi shrugged, her expression unapologetic. "Because it's the elephant in the room, Dorit. People are talking, and I'm not the type to pretend everything's sunshine and rainbows when it's not." "But you don't know the full story," Dorit countered. "PK and I have faced challenges, yes, but we're handling them. What you did was malicious." Brandi's eyes flashed. Malicious? Please. If anything, I'm giving you a chance to set the record straight. Unless, of course, there's something you're trying to hide. The exchange escalated, with both women trading barbs as their castmates looked on, equal parts horrified and entertained. By the end of the confrontation, it was clear that the feud between Brandi and Dorit was far from over, and Bravo had its next big storyline. In the days that followed, social media exploded with reactions. Team Brandi fans applauded her for speaking her mind, while Team Dorit loyalists accused Brandi of crossing a line. Memes, tweets, and Instagram posts dissected every word, every expression, turning the clash into a cultural moment. For Brandi, it was a calculated risk that paid off. The buzz surrounding her return to RHOBH reached new heights, ensuring her place in the Bravo spotlight. For Dorit, it was a wake-up call, a reminder that in the world of reality television, the line between friend and foe is razor thin. As the season unfolded, the drama between Brandi and Dorit became a central plotline, drawing viewers in with its mix of glamour, grit, and the unrelenting pursuit of truth, or at least, the version of it that made the best television.